Now we're pivoting to South Carolina. The so-called black primaries in the 1980s when Representative Jackson Ramsey registered millions of Americans to vote, and hundreds of thousands in the state of South Carolina. He won those states both times in 1984 and 1988, to the surprise of many. Since that time, it's been known as the black primary. More than 60% of those voted in the Democratic primary were black, African American. What they voted for was that Joe Biden would be able to build a firewall that will save his presidential campaign. He's not won any of the presidential campaign contests thus far. He's lost a popular vote in Iowa, in New Hampshire, and in Nevada. What's going to happen in South Carolina? He's leading in the polls, but Bernie Sanders and Tom Steyer have been able to close the gap. How were they able to do it? And if the most powerful man in the U.S. House of Representatives, the highest elected official, is African American in the U.S. House of Representatives, in leadership of the House Majority Whip. He came out a couple of days ago supporting President and Vice President Biden. Will that make a difference? And we're seeing a generational split. We're seeing older African Americans vote for Vice President Biden, and we're seeing the young African Americans vote for Bernie Sanders. What's going on? And something else is happening in South Carolina, something that you don't know about. Tom Steyer is going to come. So that everybody and some other people are in the restaurant. This is just a little bit of it. If you are from South Carolina and you are African American, you are injured, particularly if you have been involved in the movement. So we're very, very excited to have someone who I have a tremendous amount of respect who has really been former president of the ACLU in South Carolina.
Do I need to pull this chair up here? Yeah, pull this chair up. We are on Facebook.
We are. Our former South Carolina ACLU president, and he was also the manager of Reverend Jackson's 84th annual campaign. So
Panther fans.
That's right.
Panther shirt on.
We'll make a side five. There you go. Still in the house.
Two side five to day I die.
So tell me, what is happening? Thank you for welcoming us to this beautiful restaurant. My mother's over there having a great time. And then it's a real. Why don't you tell us about Railroad Barbecue that sits on the tracks, and then you've got a sound stage, concerts.
You know, what is more well, the biggest restaurant is South Carolina history as a people from South Carolina that has gone on to worldwide fame in some people, the Bristol local people. And, you know, trying to honor, there are many people on walls that are still alive, trying to honor people while they're still alive. And so it's kind of 70% South Carolina, being the South Carolina place. So that was it. This is the mothership. This is where we folks come in. South Carolina is Ellis Island for African Americans. We all came into Fort Smith. About 60% of all the enslaved Africans that came into the country came into South Carolina. So it's making that connection. When you see Eartha Kitt, when you see James Jamerson, who was the bass player with the Funk Rockers, every time you hear Motown sound, every time you hear that bass with the Temptation, that's from South Carolina. And of course, James Brown, who wants to claim Augusta, but he's born right over there in Edgefield on the former James Brown plantation. So James Brown is named after the So it's that kind of just to tell the story. Columbia is the capital city, but we don't have a Black History Museum. They're building one in Charleston. But I just wanted to do a place that other communities could emulate, community places that they utilize. And that was the start. And of course, when we talk about barbecue in the South and trains, well, that all goes there. You know, like most Black people, all my life I've lived next to a train track. I live next to a train track now. And I grew up in Spartanburg next to the Southern Line, the Southern Crescent Line. And back in the day, folks used to own their own railroad lines, but this was a whole Black business district also. For all the dentists and doctors and teachers used to live in this area near the Colored Hospital, which was a couple blocks away. And then, of course, we're a block away from both Allen University of Venice College to HBCUs. So the idea is to try to resurrect the area. Right up the street across from Allen is the old Carver Theater, that's the old black theater. You have the Township Theater, which is about 3 blocks away, which is a big theater. As you can see, we have some posters back there, James Brown at the Township Auditorium. But they play the Township, and then they come and play the Carver Theater. We have the Royal Motel, which sits next to the Carver Theater, which is the Black Hotel. And down the street was the Town and Tourist, which was the other Black Hotel. So it's trying to resurrect this district. And
you're doing a great job at this fabulous restaurant. And I would urge all of you to come to 2001
Hampton Street.
Hampton Street? Okay.
Hampton Road, that's Virginia.
I'm thinking about my grandmother, God rest her soul, right now. But, and you're right here where everybody's voting, which is what's interesting.
The last time folks voted, we allowed a group to do a fish fry out of park. So if they voted, we gave them some free fish. Got out of hand real quick, right? Fried fish out the parking lot. Fried fish in the parking lot.
Well, tell me, what is going on? I mean, do you think that the mainstream media is accurately reflecting the mood here and who's voting here? Because I'm getting mixed messages.
Look, I have to go to Charleston this evening, but it was just hilarious because MSNBC decided that they wanted to base their election coverage in Charleston.
But that's okay, we're here.
Yes.
So,
but it's Columbia is the center of the state. It's more convenient. Charleston is a lovely place to visit. You have to drive 2 hours if you participate in mainstream media, then that's the problem. And then even a couple of weeks ago, the Duval Patrick campaign shut down. They were a block away down in Harris. Of course, Beto was a block away that way. Cory Booker, campaign headquarters over on Banner's campus, about 3 blocks that way. Biden is about 4 blocks that way. Stiers is 3 blocks that way. So they're all concentrated in black areas.
why?
Well, I mean, symbolically, I think that, this the turnout in the Democratic primary is 65% black. So, symbolically, they placed their campaigns in the black community. Now, going down to college, the church, the fish fry, and the state events, Stiers.
How so? How is Stiers?
It's hiring people, paying them $15 an hour. Wage of that, working on the table. But he went out to some of the world leaders and went beyond. That's it. And I don't think the media is picking up on the state of penetration of now, somebody that's had surgeons on stage, and we'll see how it goes. And I think him winning these last couple of races has been helpful. But it's hard to get them to go beyond what traditional modern campaigns are. It's just about usually with some party, maybe they'll do some black radio, and they'll mail you a flyer. But that's not all they do. And they don't really healthcare is easy, education is easy. But the biggest issue for me living in the capital city, in the inner city, is gentrification of black How I am in this place is one few black men that can city see what's not happening.
Do you think that should be one of the asks during an election season?
Well, that's someone once told me that black folks don't have to do shit they need, they got to do shit they want. I don't know. But, our mayor supported Bloomberg, who isn't even on the ballot.
You would support Bloomberg? Why not? I mean, did you get a sense that he gets more support on the ground?
I'm a former ACLU president. Stop my first racial profile.
You all sued
Yeah, right. So, I just, you know, I co-edited a book called Killing Trayvon. So why would why would I support the man that perpetuated? So
How do you see how people we're seeing
what's going on?
black elected officials dropping out of what do you think?
Well, Bloomberg spreads a lot of institution. I mean, you know, I'm sure that, and I would take it. I tell folks, you got to take it and use it against him. But obviously, he's giving out a lot of money to people, and that has made him kind of quiet. I don't think they're going to overcome that money that he gives to them. And some people support somebody for old-fashioned reasons.
What is that line? I mean, because I'm wondering about his history with busing.
With Biden is nostalgia for Obama. Look, Biden's race record. I'm one of those kids that desegregated to school. They're not just I know Biden's race record. I've had several opportunities. It's not good. You just outlined the busing and siding with segregationists is one thing, and you go back and look at his whole record. I used to post a lot of stuff. I stopped posting stuff on Facebook because there's so much coming up. Institutionally, what you did probably did. I'll have to go back, but Biden's race record, when you go back to look at it, other than saying, I'll do that. When you say it's clearly changed, but no, I've had many opportunities not to look at Biden, and I'm take another one out the door.
Where do you think the black electorate? Where do you think people are going? I think I'm only asking you this because I'm reading like a monitor saying that Biden's fine, and every time I see the media, they tell me that he's winning hands down.
The mainstream media is waging a battle against democratic socialism.
Oh my gosh! Or against progressives?
Yeah, and progressive. Well, they want to seize the word progressive because they want to replace it, use it as a replacement for liberal because liberal is such a weird word. But they're not progressive. They're not progressive. So, you know, I think that Biden's not going to win as big as I think he's going to win. I could be wrong. You know, I'm wrong about a lot of things. But I think it's going to be Biden.
So Steyer has penetrated. Well, we love you. That is your book.
You gonna be around? That's Frances Close. She's slipping out. She's slipping out. She was our 1988 campaign finance chair. Yep, we've been working together that long. She's got a picture of her and Reverend on her mantle right now, still today, when she sponsored a fundraiser at his house. But yeah. So, and actually, there's an ashtray up on the bar that he signed that she brought here, that she's had in her house for years. Could you, Miss Sharon, you see that ashtray on the bar up there, back there, by that piece of the gold pole from Clemson victory in the Bowden Bowl? I just need the ashtray. Thank you, ma'am. You know, the Bowden Bowl. I'm a Clemson man too. I got a lot of Clemson stuff up in here.
I mean, so much.
Go Tigers.
My goodness, I don't want to touch it.
You can touch it.
Stay right there. Oh wow. And he actually signed
What
it.
year was that?
19, although no, this was 2000.
That 2009?
Yeah.
No, that's 09. I guess that is 09.
No, it's just, yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know where she got that one at. I said, oh,
No, but they've been, she and Reverend Jackson have been together a long time ago. What did you been Reverend Jackson?
1979. They said 1979.
Yes.
I did, me and my brother came to Columbia. We organized the Chester to Columbia March. Reverend Abernathy's last big march with Golden Prince. And that's how I got to Columbia. That's how I got started. And then Reverend was organizing Reverend was working on the It was the so many people coming
South Africa?
in. No. This was the reauthorization of voting rights.
Oh my God. How did you get, what was it? Tell me about this in a nutshell. 1984, 1988. What was that like for you? And can you kind of compare it to what's happened 20 years later?
No, I mean, look, the thing that people seem to forget is that Reverend set the mark, the foundation, for contemporary progressive politics. And ever since then, the status quo has tried to run
All of you did. Because
everybody, it's all, it's a coalition, it's a group, no one does anything by themselves. But Reverend, we have a relationship. We knew one another. We drove all across the country to support one another.
But you all have been working on a lot of issues which led to the campaign. So that's my point is I think people need to understand movements are ongoing.
Right.
And the presidential campaign really, you were already in motion.
Like I said, I started working with Reverend in the late 70s, early 80s.
So the campaign didn't go, oh, there's a campaign. It's like, we're going to continue to do
it. It was an extension of the movement.
Well, how did you organize in 1985? People must have thought you were crazy. You did what?
I did have a job in state government for a while with Dick Rowley, who was Clinton's education secretary. Governor Rowley, I probably did. And I worked as the senior state youth coordinator, and I worked with his division of young people. So I was moving around the state in almost every county doing job training programs. I think back in 84, 85, I had to organize a list of unopposed distress communities. So I've been on. And I applied that to organize the campaign. You had to get 25, 30,000 people out to a caucus meeting. So, I knew where the people were. And then, of course, Reverend said in and out, we're doing the marches, we're doing the anti-police violence marches, we're organizing lawsuits to get people in office for the first time. There's a lot of firsts, a lot of lawsuits, and we just kept working from there. I don't know. I mean, it's younger generation. It's more. They think it's a virtual movement. They don't think that they have to put any material skin in the game or put their feet on the ground and go do the political education. It's not like it used to be. But I know I'm getting old.
No, but I think you might need an adapter for that. There's something else in it. We're going to keep on talking. Get people here?
Yeah.
But when you look at what's happening now,
see the vendor get a check.
we need to get better. Without the primary, what should we be looking at? Because I'm here, what's the difference between what the pundits are saying and what people are saying? Not that, plug it into the microphone side.
The pundits would like Sanders to be embarrassed, and Biden, they really would want Biden to win. Excuse me, claiming this false issue of electability. I'm going to remind you, my line has been, Hubert Humphrey was elected, Walter Mondale was electable, Mike Dukakis was electable, Al Gore was electable, John Kerry was electable. They even thought that Edwards might be more electable than anybody. Right? He never made it. And then Hillary Clinton was electable. They got all these electoral candidates. The Democrats had more losing electoral candidates than Lyndon Johnson.
Hillary did win though.
She won the popular vote, no question. But that's she lost the election. And so, I mean, the Democrats got problems.
What is that? Because I'm hearing
the Republicans, and the folk behind.
They keep going back to this because many of us get our information pundits. We don't really confuse any.
No, you know what? I don't.
Is there a disconnect between the people and the pundits?
A big disconnect because with all this focus on Trump every channel, a lot of people are not listening to it. I don't listen to as much news as I used to. I certainly don't turn on the TV and watch MSNBC or CNN the way I used to because I was looking for news. I might get my news from BBC, I might get it from the Japanese news channel, I might get it from the German news channel, or CNN International or BBC.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get news from what's called mainstream media. It's just not happening. And so I think, yes, I said they were surprised about Trump. I would feel very funny holding this microphone. I'd have to have a microphone a long time. No, I'm good.
Okay. I mean, because I'm feeling, as I'm reading different articles from people, I like you.
Trump was a surprise. I mean, there could be surprise. If there's a surprise, I would think it would be Bernie Sanders with a significant percentage. Yes. I mean, institutionally, young people are concerned about student loan debt. They're concerned about having a job with a decent wage. They're concerned about health care. The war ought not be going to war ought not be the economic issue. And so I could see, as I said, I think that older black voters, establishment, are going to vote for because they're nostalgic for Obama and Biden was with Obama, and they support the status quo, and they don't necessarily have a liberation ideology. Anybody but Trump. The younger voters, the middle voters, those that believe in economic development and want to see people talk about inner city politics, based on where Stars is campaigning and where he puts money, they're going to go with Stars in the city. The younger voters will go with Suburban if they can convince their parents. Bernie's biggest problem, his campaign's biggest problem, because they're connected to a movement, tend to see to be a bit self-proud. Is that fair?
I think it is fair. What do you think was the difference between that campaign and Reverend Jackson's campaign? Because that was a movement.
Reverend had organizational progressive support too. I mean, the anti-apartheid movement had its own leadership, and that leadership came to the table and crafted our positions on the South Africa. The anti-nuclear movement, Same Freeze. Remember Same Freeze? And all the same, and we would send representatives to those meetings. The unions, be it 1197 in New York. Is it 1197 in New York? Yeah, so we and of course the Reverend had been at the picket gates for a while. I mean, I did the last union thing I did in South Carolina. I did it with Reverend with the concrete companies right up the street. It's
Well, but I think you're making a point that you have to be involved. Well, I think
you have to be involved, and you have to have the leadership all the time. You have that the leadership in those organizations that you're involved with have a say in crafting what you're doing.
Is that a takeaway from the election that we're going to have tomorrow? That really,
Bernie has a broad coalition.
It doesn't end tomorrow,
he has
right?
a broad coalition, and it doesn't end tomorrow. And he's organized a whole lot better than he did in his first time.
How so?
Well, he reached out to vote of course, the beginning of the process was 4 years ago. But he learned his lesson about organizing a campaign by reaching out to people of color and women at the beginning of his campaign versus having to stop and do it.
Well, because he wasn't, and I think it's important for us to recognize that he was not a movement guy. When you are a movement guy, you're always in motion, you're always organizing, you're always moving. And what you're telling me is, having met Reverend in '79, you all were moving organizing, and so when you got to 1983, 84, you kept moving organizing, and then when you got to 87, 88, because you walked out there and you were saying, look, we won South Carolina, and we can win in an overwhelming way. What did you do?
I went around the state trying to put people together and figure out on a block by block level, precinct by precinct, how many people I need to have show up to a conference. Now, you know, they changed the rules in South Carolina to a primary because we won that conference.
In such a big way.
In such a big way. And but the victories for us was not just winning, but it was the whole idea of proportional representation, which when Obama was winning big, you had people talking about, well, let's go to winner take all. No, we're doing proportional representation because in the long run, that's what's best for us. I mean, basically, you had Obama's vote when we tried to make the argument that we should go back to the state of affairs where we were going to be locked out if we lost. We didn't. So it's a lot of things have changed. You know, I've been doing my Flonase every morning, and so I feel my nose dripping, and I have no ear.
I'm not going to hold you because I brought someone from Chicago here, and I wanted to bring Chicago here. She wants to do a barbecue before we get to eating barbecue. I wanted to go here, Chicago. Just because you talked to
Did you have some barbecue? Have you had barbecue yet?
Not yet.
You ain't cooking, man. You got a lot of food back there. Remember them talking about they come here at 7. Okay, he's ready to finish. That's what that's about. Hey, child.
But you need to come.
Could you get your card? She's with you're with the service employees union. What union? What union?
The card.
I'm gonna give Thomas gonna give you a card.
Okay.
That the sisters with. She mentioned what union she was with, but I missed you.
Let me move this way, just a little bit, because I can't see Chapeau.
Oh, there I am. Hey.
Okay? Take me a little closer to Kevin. We're both going to share it. Get a little closer.
Really? I'm gonna hold me right there, right? That ain't right. That ain't even right. That ain't even right. So she's gone now.
No. But I'm ready.
Oh.
What do you think of this? She's not from South Carolina. She's from Chicago. And so, why don't you take the microphone? You know you're going to grab it. I'm going to hold the microphone for Kevin. What are you seeing as you've been down here? Because we've been here a lot. We came by to see Kevin last night when we got in here. Kevin Gray, everybody. You got to get his book, Killing Trayvons, an anthology of American violence. And it's ironic that that book really is at the center of the conversation now, because when we found out about, masses of people found out about Mayor Bloomberg's Stop and Frisk support, so his embrace of that, people said, oh, wait a minute, but interestingly enough, Kevin, some people have just said, I'm going to go past that. It's blue no matter who, Trump, got to get him out no matter what. What do you think about that? And by way of explaining, sadly, Chappelle lost her son to we all know I just know that the cameras went down. And it's been 4 years.
It's 4 years next week.
And we've been trying to find out so much. And now you're in the South. And we really want to get to South Carolina again, but we really want to get with you because we have so much respect. But we wanted to see, and for ourselves, we want to talk about South. We wanted to talk to South Carolinians, and we wanted to talk to you. And what do you see?
Well, I think people are really energized about this election.
You see how the cars are.
Yeah,
they're paying their taxes and voting. There are lines out there.
There are lines around the corner, and it's black people. When the world always says black people don't vote, well, they in South Carolina and they're voting. They're right behind us, and we see them coming in. They're casting their ballot. Who they're casting their ballot for, we don't know. But I see a lot of young people. You know, they were saying that black people are very pragmatic. They're going to vote for Biden. I think South Carolina is going to bring a shock. I am not convinced that Biden is going to run away from this, because they've seen how he has performed in the debates. They've seen his campaign. I mean, we're talking about a person in the first 3 elections who has placed 5th in all of them. So if I was South Carolina, I'm like, well, who votes for 5th place? I mean, I'm being realistic. I know that
keeping it 100, right?
I mean, I know that all the pundits on TV, they're saying, hey.
I don't think he looks strong. I mean, and I'm sorry to say physically, in what, how old about 78?
Yes.
And you can powder him up. He looks his age.
He looks his age.
Well, some folks don't look like him.
But he does, and age is not even a factor for me. But I think that, you know,
his campaign has been flat in the state. When Reverend and I went to the convention together, that was the first time I went to the state Democratic convention. The South Carolina Democratic convention. This year with Reverend. First time I've been back in 35 years since I ran the campaign. And there was support. There was enthusiasm for Warren, enthusiasm for Sanders. There was even enthusiasm for Harris and Booker. That enthusiasm did not exist. So I'm not, but I mean, I know a lot of older voters that said they're going to vote for Biden. And I'm just, and some of them, I'm like, thinking they're old movement people, old institutional civil rights supporters. Wow, what are you seeing in his history?
They're not seeing anything. That's my thing. They're basically voting for Biden off the strength of Obama. That he was Obama's VP. He has not put forth any plan, any policy that will remotely
his main claim to fame is I can beat Donald Trump. And I believe that it is. Well, no, I think that, listen, I used the example, I posted it on Facebook, I got it from somebody else who came on before me on Democracy Now! Capitalism is the car you drive to work. Socialism is the road that you drive to work.
Say that one more time.
Capitalism is a car, and really now somebody, of course, everybody when you say that, well, you know, they got government subsidies, blah, 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 and socialism for the rich, which is true, but just, you know, you buy your car, you spend your earnings, your wages on the car, you pay it to a company, Ford, in my case, GMC, I'm a Jimmy name, and you pay that money, you make that payment, you pay that interest to the bank. That's capitalism. The road you drive that car on, your tax money pays for the road. Like those guys that just came in here, that I talked about the road maintenance, and it's like that they're government workers, they're socialists. Now the bomb makers, the plane makers, the defense contractors. Now they're claimed to be capitalists and they're boards. And they got a lot of big government contracts, which is government socialism, but they'll claim to be capitalists. So, so the people that make the planes and the trains and the ships and the guns, they're capitalists, but the person that pulls the trigger is a socialist. He's getting his check from the government. So I think some of it, you know, if you go to the public school every morning, the woman or man standing in front of you teaching you, well, they'll argue against it, but they're a socialist. They get a check from the government. So I don't know why everybody's so afraid of socialism.
But my thing is that they always say that we can't afford universal health care. We can't afford not to have it at this point.
The example I've been giving, I've been telling folks, how many people sit down at the first of the month, end of the month, first of the year, whatever, and determine their budget and say, I'm going to spend 70% of my money, my household budget, buying rifles, guns, and bullets. Who does that? Who does that? So if you want, you know, and everybody talking about how's it going to get paid for, well, you know, stop going to war. Now that's probably the one thing I agree with Trump on, and a lot of folks are upset about that. You know, we're in, how many places? Over 100 places around the world, but 700 bases around the world, and right, and at war every 20 years. Well, maybe we don't need to be at war every 20 years.
No, he did say that, and when he said that, I agreed with that. A lot of people like twice a day, but a lot of people
believe with the endless war. Everybody wants to end the endless war. But when we talk about
ending it, they don't want to end it. Even the Democrats.
I don't want to end it. Because
people do, but
my
not
thing,
departments.
that's what I'm saying. When you tell me on Monday that you need 786 billion or we can collapse this economy by Friday, and they found that money, that tells me we got some money that somebody holding somewhere somehow. And so when you tell me we can't afford how did we afford 786 billion for that?
Well,
Billions more.
I suspect that they made the same argument about Social Security.
Yes, yes. It's the unknown. I think it's the unknown that is causing people to have that anxiety, which is normal. But the reality is that when like I tell you, I'm sitting here paying $3,000 deductible, plus paying for prescription drugs, plus paying a copay for office visits. I mean, how much blood you gonna try to squeeze out this arm?
And we're trying to figure out a way now here in this business how to provide health care for our workers. And it's difficult because it's expensive.
It is.
I mean, if you're talking about, you're not talking about health care, you're talking about health care funding. And so it's
we talk about a wellness plan. The thing is that the reason why the cost of healthcare is so expensive is because people are going to the emergency room after they've already seen the symptoms until they can't take it anymore.
the cost of health care
You know what I'm saying?
is expensive because a lot of people at the top are making a lot of money.
And
And administrators and in some cases physicians. Now, some physicians, I know a lot of doctors, my doctor, he supports resources in the program. But he's seen a lot. He works as a doctor at the nursing home. My daughter-in-law is a nurse at the nursing assistant. And just going back and forth with them because I had a friend up there, it is tough. Most of the workers there are probably making, some are making more than minimum wage, but folks that work after dark as attendants, they're not making a lot of money. And so you got a lot of people caring for people who people don't care for. Well, but you got people who don't care for caring for people don't care for. It's very sad. And then when you consider if you're going to get a Medicare, Medicaid plan, that you have to surrender any money or anything that you might think you want to hand over to your kids, any property, you got to surrender or liquidate 7 years before you receive that help. And a lot of people don't know that just the cost of it all. In some respects, you're having to pay $25,000, $30,000 a month, or that's the cost they put on you to be in the assisted living center. More money than you've ever made in your life. So, and
Do you think this is what this healthcare, that and those issues that we have to dig down in the weeds on healthcare? Is that driving people to stand out in those lines? I wish we could show how people are lined up and they're waiting for a long time, like an hour or so, if not more.
No question, Trump creates a whole lot of anxiety. No doubt that he drives.
Did he start this?
I think Trump exposes a lot of people's hypocrisy, to be honest with you.
So he didn't start this, he's exposing. That's what they mean.
I'm not. I can't stand the lies.
But I think that you gotta scientifically look at what, I think you have
A lot of people have gone
in.
into government and done very well. A lot of people believe government is a family business to stay in it forever and ever and ever. The bureaucracy and the petty title positions. A lot of people are irritated with that. A lot of people are just mad at Washington. They're mad at Washington and New York.
Why New York?
The media. Folks who think that they know so much more than everybody else that want to set the trend. It's like the New York Times. You never finished that story. The New York Times before walks up the street after Bob Patrick got out the race, and me and my manager Thomas called Choppers. I call it really. But we're standing outside, and as you see Choppers professionally dressed, when you came here, you see that I was hanging pictures. And I looked grumpy, and she looked at Thomas and said, "Are you the owner?" And Thomas said, "Yes." Because we get that. I'm standing outside the white guy doing what? That's happening. And so anyway, then she says, well, now that Duval Patrick's out of the race, are you upset that there's no black in the race? Well, person of color, I said, no. I said, our county and city council is predominantly black. You go around the city, you see they ain't doing a whole lot for us. I said, I would support anybody that's not working on that. That was not what she wanted to hear. New York Times reporter was writing a story about black people being upset because there was nobody black in the race. That's all she wanted to hear. Then Chopper turns around and says, well, he's the writer. That's who you need to talk to anyway. He owns the race. And she says, you're a writer. Well, I don't even know if I can quote you. She says that.
So she predetermined the outcome.
She went right up the street to Benedict and Allen. She said, I think I'll go there and ask the kids to say yes. And there she probably got the answer she wanted. She just didn't want the answer.
That's why you have such a hard time and everything else. But you know what it's particularly now, because I think that there's so much at stake here. Don't think in 2020.
I hear you, but you know, in the last 5 years, I said, I've written and I ain't seeking a whole lot out. I think the best thing I can do right now is this right here. Well, it speaks for itself. It's history. It's I tell folks if it was about liking you, a whole lot of people wouldn't be on the wall. It's just it is what it is. And in this city, the capital city, where there's not a lot, there's no black people. There's not a black business. I know this business. I know it. It cost me a double hernia operation laying all this time. But you know, folk need something that they can feel, touch. And you know, they look at the posters on the wall and they start a conversation talking about it. And if they want to Google it, but they can come here and actually talk to people like you, like your mother, like your father, that just have been. They can talk to people that have lived that and can make them feel that and ask them to reconnect. That's I had all this stuff. I got more that I've collected in the years. And I don't want my kids to just be rummaging through it when I start figuring out what to do, what to give to somebody. That's what happens. That's just, and it's so much. You know, with your grandmother passing all this stuff on, that's a lot. So you have to me, it's like, you have to figure out how to preserve and share it while you're here and while you consider it. I'd rather be on these walls than people see it than being in my store. I got a whole lot. I'm going to give some to museums. I'm going to give some to your mom to try and organize some of the stuff I've got for your dad's and the two black newspapers, they got all kinds of stuff, which is why he walks in and says, I love your parents. But he walks in and sees
But you know what, we can all see our lives because you are from South Carolina. When we see these South Carolinians and these people, these black people, and it's not just black people, but primarily it's white people and how they've shaped our lives. And we see them working, it's so nice. I mean, he's done such a magnificent work. And I just thank you for the work that you've done. Okay, but you know,
We still want Kevin to do it at our own home. We were like, Kevin, can you make all our family pictures at the cocktail table?
Your mother trying to talk me into making tables right
well,
here.
the tables, that's the tables at the restaurant. But the tables are really, you dig the house and you put what on top.
It's called envirotech. It's like an epoxy hard.
It is
amazing. I wish you guys
over there.
We'll put up
Your mother gave me
there.
that card.
Unbelievable.
Your mother, did she see it? Did she show it to her?
Oh, no, I don't.
She gave me that card. The two things she gave me, that she gave me that Jim Clyburn flyer up there when he first went to Secretary of State. Yes. Where's your mom at?
She's over there. We're going to go over there in a minute. We're going to get off. But let me ask you, what are you looking for tomorrow, Shirley? I mean, and this is as someone who's we have our primary in what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, March 17th for Illinois primary. I'm looking for an upset. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I just want them to be wrong just because I just feel like, you know, when they told us that Hillary was running away with this election, then we said, oh my goodness, we got Trump, and nobody was prepared for him to be given the acceptance speech.
Why did they stop the recount? Why did they push back on Jonestown and the recount? That was the margin of error.
Because it's the Democratic Party to me, as a person who's a constituent of the Democratic Party, they don't have no backbone.
They believe in order. They believe in order over anything.
But see, my thing is that when the Republicans have the table, they run it. They don't care whose feelings hurt. They don't give a darn dime. And we have, that was my TV. Yes. So my thing is that we have to be that same way. If we get this House and Senate and the presidency, we need to run the table. Don't tell. I don't want Nancy Pelosi saying no. We don't want university. Yes, the heck we do.
I think that we have to know that there's a distinction between party and we're seeing that even with Trump, because Trump was not a traditional Republican, and people left the party to vote for him. People have left the party orthodoxies to vote for Bernie and Trump. What are Americans looking for? This final question: what do you think Americans are looking for in the new?
Oh, I think they voted 10% of Trump voters voted for Obama. They're looking for change. They just don't know what kind of change they want. So that's still something that's driving people to the polls and impacting their vote. Then Bernie Sanders will do better than most people think. This idea that he can't win, that's a matter of organizing and energizing people.
Well, I think that what we want as constituents is major change. I definitely think that we want to see our government invest in us. We want them to give us these green jobs. We know that our highways, byways, bridges are depleted and they need to be reestablished. We have jobs here in America. Our stuff shouldn't be overseas. We have enough employment for everybody to be at work, paying good, livable wages. I mean, $15 an hour is just a start. When you have a mortgage, a car, grown people bills, as I say, you need more than $15 an hour. So we need somebody who understands that. And we're not going to talk about student loan debt and all that stuff. We want all of that. And we have ambitious goals because we're hurting here. The average American is hurting. When they talk about, it's never been better, I'm like, for who? For who? They're not asking the people on the street. For who is it better for? When I sit up here and I think about a 60 or a 55-year-old woman at Walmart being a cashier, she ain't been by Trump. It's a need that she has. And so I'm saying that income insecurity that we have as Americans, that's what's pushing us out to get out the vote and to get out here and demand change on a big level, a huge level for us, for everyday people, not the people at the top.
Before we go, do you see us being surprised a little bit by tomorrow's results?
I'm going to stick to my story. I think it's Biden wins. It's not going to be by the margin of victory that he thinks it's going to be, which is why. And Sanders coming in second because his black vote is expanding. That should be a surprise. And Steyer's coming in third because of all the money he spent in the state. He's got Gil Connor, and that means a lot. Because that's that orange state. He makes that I haven't been over to the PD. Cherry Alexander, who's the state rep over there, is doing the same. The PD is that is Charleston, as they call it, the great state of Charleston. I think it's going to work out Biden, Sanders.
Well, everybody, we're going to see. You'll be hearing more from us. But I will be here to come back here.
We have a band here.
We're going to have a barbecue right now. We're going to sit with Mom and talk to her for a bit. But have a great week.
Thank you.
Kevin, I'm going into syndication next week.
Well, you got the banner already ready. All right. Yeah, thank you,
Love
ladies.
you all,
I got to go back to work. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Jordan here, what we were saying? Jordan here.
Come on here real quick. Come on over real quick. Come on, you all come over here real quick.
Oh, excuse me.
Now let me just have a seat. Young lady, you have a seat, and this gentleman's going to stand beside you. And Vidalia, can you help me with this? Move this back so that they can hear. Because I want to ask you, are you all from South Carolina? Okay. You're not, where are you from?
I'm from Sacramento, California.
What are you doing out here?
I study social work at Benedict College.
Also HBCU. Love it. Howard in the house.
And
Okay, now
I'm
you
from New York.
I used to live in Harlem.
Oh, Western Avenue. Boom.
Linux Terrace, 135th and Linux.
2032 Custom, Jerome.
40 West 135th Street.
Well, I graduate May 9th at 8 a.m.
Congratulations, yay!
2020.
Thank you. Woo! Okay, now let me ask you, I want to do a little bit of a soul poll, if you will. Are you all registered to vote? Are you planning to vote tomorrow?
I plan on voting
I'll
tomorrow.
hold it, Vidalia, I need to move that so I can move this. You planning on voting tomorrow, talk to me, and then you can pass the mic to this handsome gentleman. Okay, no, that's all right, we got it. We'll just hand it this way, okay? You know what I mean? You don't have to tell us who you're voting for, but what issues are you voting for? I think that's one of the more appropriate questions. Well, it's an appropriate question. I could ask you to vote for. Are you want to share that?
I'm caught between Bernie and Warren.
Really? So you want the progressives, what about Bernie and Warren have captivated?
Warren, she visited Benedict, and some of her views really got to me, and her track record is clean. Like, she's always supported women, looked out for women.
Absolutely.
And Bernie, I voted for him previously, and I don't know if I just lost faith or
You know it's a long distance race, right? I was talking to Mr. Gray, he had worked for Jackson back in 1979. Reverend started running for president 4 years later, but he already knew Reverend Jackson. He had a track record at that point that was almost 20 years old. And so I will share this with you. When Reverend was running for president, it was just more people. And the Secret Service, it was work that he had been doing all the things. So don't lose faith. Know that this is a long distance process. And you cannot really make change in cyberspace. A tweet, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, whatever else you young people have, is important. But I think your consciousness has to be beyond the technology. You're supposed to use the technology to do what our parents and their parents before them did and continue to push us. Don't lose faith. Oh, why did I say that? And he said that after we had this glorious moment in which he became the front runner for the 1988 nomination. People were shocked when it was a 6 or 7 man field. He yes, it was stunning. And they stopped the presses on Time and News, which at that time, those were like Bibles. Because they had already gone to print Friday for Monday. They always did. That was on Saturday. They had to stop printing. Because they had to come up, they had to call millions of magazines. This big, not just a black man, but a progressive, had swept the state, right? Because it's enough to be black or white, or anything, but I tell you what, I know. Because it's very interesting. I can ask you this question. But that's what he we've been running. Yeah, what's interesting, well, I don't want to answer that, but because I want us to go to jump in here too. Did Corey go out or come with you? Why not? Use your outside voice. No, because I think it's very interesting to hear from these young people, right? You program to tell you.
Yes.
You tell me. Come on, tell me. My question to you is, did Kamala Harris and Cory Booker ever appeal to you? You tell me you said they did not.
I don't trust them.
Why not?
I don't trust them. And then I looked more into what Warren has done in the past before running for president, and he hasn't done anything. Yeah, he hasn't done anything untrustworthy. So if I already supported her before, it's natural for me to support her now. And then Bernie, his track record as well, but newly stuff is coming out to light of but it's just like Twitter stuff. So that's what made me lose the faith, if I'm being honest.
Let me tell you something, no one is perfect.
Exactly.
So do yourself a favor, get on over that. And you know, God uses imperfect people to achieve God's purpose. Okay? So just remember that. And let people be human and have them and send them on their way to do your work. Okay? So don't worry about it. Don't get caught up in that. Because if you keep on digging, guess what? We all have intestines. We all have waste. We're all imperfect. And yet God uses ordinary people who are imperfect to do the most extraordinary things. Stand right there. While you as a young person continue to press toward the mark and become all that you're supposed to be yourself. Learn from your elders. Learn from everybody else because everybody's trying to figure it out. So don't lose faith. In fact, keep the faith and say, you know what, in spite of your humanness, I appreciate that you appeal to, you try to reach your better angels every day. How about that? What's that? Look at it a little bit differently. That in spite of his own challenges, he tries to be better. How about that? Every day, stay right there. And then you do the same thing. The perfection that you see in someone else, you do yourself. Just local motherly advice.
Thank you.
Almost grandmotherly advice.
See, we open experience.
We've seen enough. And I would be negligent if I, as your elder, would say that to you. Because I want you to ask. I want you to know. Don't never get caught up in that. You're going to get married today, maybe. You'll be in a partnership. And you're going to forgive her. Because nobody's perfect. Because if they were perfect, they wouldn't have you.